Navigating the organization. Hi there, and welcome to the first video of the SHRM Coaching Masterclass. In this series of videos I will cover all the SHRM functional areas and competencies as listed in the SHRM BaSK. I will be releasing these videos on a weekly basis and sometimes even twice a week. If you find value in these videos, then subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when the next video is released. So, let's begin with today's video. In this video we will cover the first sub-competency under the leadership and navigation competency, which is navigating the organization. Before going any further though, let's read the definition of leadership and navigation together as stated in the SHRM BaSK. Leadership and navigation is defined as the knowledge, skills, abilities and other characteristics, 𝐐𝐒s, needed to create a compelling vision and mission for HR that aligns with the strategic direction and culture of the organization, accomplish HR and organizational goals, lead and promote organizational change, navigate the organization, and manage the implementation and execution of HR initiatives. The SHRM BaSK further divides this topic into 4 sub-competencies, namely, navigating the organization, vision, managing HR initiatives, and influence. Over the next 4 videos we will be discussing each of these sub-competencies, beginning in this video with navigating the organization. We are releasing these videos every week, so subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of the next lesson. Now, pause the video here and refer to your SHRM BaSK page 13, you will see that the navigating the organization competency has been broken down into proficiency indicators. So these are the indicators that SHRM will use to test you in the exam. SHRM really want to ascertain that you not only have the knowledge but you can also apply that knowledge in the right situation. So think of them as indicators of how good you are as an HR professional. The better you are, the better you will be able to apply these indicators at work. I will be covering all of these proficiency indicators, however I will not be labeling them as such. What you can do is at the end of each video is go back to the SHRM BaSK and check on the proficiency indicators and review them. You will notice that we have covered all of them. This can also form a part of your revision for the lesson. This is how I will be approaching the presentation of these competencies throughout this series of coaching videos. And, with that, let's dive into the first sub-competency under leadership and navigation, which is navigating the organization. Now from the title itself let's try and understand this better. What is navigation? Well, one might think of navigation in terms of the maritime industry, much like navigating a ship or a large vessel. So let's use a ship as a metaphor for the organization. If you are going to be navigating a ship, you need to first set the course for where the ship is going or its destination. From time to time you will need to assess if the ship is on course to its destination, or maybe you need to make a correction to the course so the ship reaches its destination. To do this you will have to work with the captain of the ship and provide your support and advice when needed on how to best manage all resources available. You will need to develop plans to ensure that you hire the right staff to work on the ship for it to function successfully, develop programs to ensure that the staff you recruit are always satisfied with their jobs and in turn they will perform all their duties as expected. Sometimes, you will also need to let go of staff if they are not cutting the grade. You will be responsible for coming up with initiatives to ensure that everyone working on the ship is on the same page and have the same goal. You will sometimes need to be the peacemaker between the captain and his staff. You will need to care for their well-being and support the staff wherever needed. Similarly, in an organization, as an HR professional you will need to provide support to not only senior management but also support staff at all grades of the organization. This is how as an HR professional you will be navigating an organization. The SHRM BaSK describes navigating the organization as works within the parameters of the organization's hierarchy, processes, systems and policies. The 4 topics we will cover under navigating the organization are: develop clear and concise job postings, facilitate communication, processes, systems and facilities, and environment and culture. So, let's begin. As a competent human resources (HR) professional, we must be able to develop job postings that clearly and concisely explain the responsibilities required to get the job done. Shortlist candidates that have the educational qualifications and knowledge skill sets that will support those responsibilities. For example, if the job posting is for the position of a computer programmer, then the qualifications you would look for would be a degree in computer science and perhaps a certification in the particular programming software which is used by your organization. You would also need to assess the soft skills of the candidates to ensure that potential candidates will be a good fit for the role, perhaps someone who is comfortable working on their own under little to no supervision, etc. So, not only must the hired candidate be able to carry out the requirements of the job, but their personal interests have to also be factored into their productivity and happiness over the long term. HR professionals may utilize a number of personality assessment tools to determine a good fit between candidates and roles. Jobs within an organization are developed based on goals and objectives established by leadership to ensure that qualified employees perform duties that contribute to the overall interests of the organization. Finally, HR personnel work with those in leadership roles to influence a company culture that sets the tone for how employees behave during work hours and how they interact with subordinates, their colleagues and superiors. Moving along, facilitate communication is the second topic under the navigating the organization sub-competency. Encouraging communication and involvement is often a step in the right direction toward changing company culture. And much like climate and culture, communication and involvement are closely related, but not necessarily identical. For example, if Owen's boss gives him increased responsibility over an aspect of his work, then Owen will become more involved. However, if Owen still has no input from his boss on the decision-making process, or has no formal way to share his ideas with management, then the boss has not encouraged communication. Conversely, if Owen's boss starts sending regular memos detailing company activities and the strategies, communication increases. However, if Owen and other employees have no way to act or contribute on these memos, then the boss has not encouraged involvement. To make meaningful changes to company culture, both communication and involvement of employees are important. The third topic we will now discuss is processes, systems and facilities. An organization's processes, systems, and policies will vary depending on the overall goals and function of an organization, but most HR initiatives focus on several key categories that intend to most effectively utilize the personnel within the organization. These include, but are not limited to, the following. 1. Finding, hiring, and retaining qualified candidates. 2. Employee compensation and benefits, such as hourly pay, salary, health insurance, paid leave, disability benefits, pension, and other perks based on employee interests. 3. Organizational and employee development activities, such as professional trainings. 4. Termination and retirement tasks. 5. Risk management, such as drug screening employees and providing safety courses relevant to job functions. The details and successful implementation of these initiatives are largely subjective, beginning with understanding of an organization's mission. This is often defined by an established mission statement or company vision. All HR initiatives should contribute to the advancement of the organization's mission. Environment and culture is the fourth and final topic under navigating the organization. How employees think and feel about a company is critical to an employer. If members of an organization have negative associations with it, it can be difficult to motivate them. The overall mood of an organization is known as its climate, and organizational climate cannot be directly controlled. However, Climate is closely affected by work environment, company standards, interactions, and a general sense of how things are done around here. All these factors add up to what is called organizational culture. So, if an employer wants to improve the company's climate, they need to make changes to the company culture or the way things are done around here. The organization's political environment can also have an effect on employees. This refers to the hierarchy and behavior of the management of a company. That brings us to the end of this video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be updated for my weekly videos, which will be based on the other SHRM topics. Also, visit our website https://𝐇𝐎𝐏𝐄 linked below, and download your free study resources to accompany this lesson.